is Vanessa Terry, owner of Notary to Notary, the online training platform that teaches notaries how to build a successful business nationwide. So today I wanted to discuss how to handle a really tricky situation. So there will be times when you will notice that a client does not feel comfortable signing loan documents. It may be that they don't understand the figures. They can be apprehensive about the whole agreement altogether. And there may be even times where the you may notice that they are not of sound mind. Okay, so during situations, it's your responsibility that the client only signs those documents when they are comfortable, not pressured, and they actually have the mental capacity to do so. For example, about a year ago, I had a client that was doing a loan application, and I arrived at the client's home, and when we got to the table and I started going over some information with him, he let me know that he was not allowed to sign any documents because his son had power of attorney over him and he was not supposed to sign anything. And I said, "Oh, okay, is your son here?" And he said, "No." And I also noticed a few other things with the client. I noticed that he repeated itself a lot. Just different things that you will notice, especially if you do a lot of like power of attorneys and wills for the elderly. You can start to tell when someone either may have dementia or Alzheimer's or whatever the case is. So I could tell from having a conversation with him that he was not of sound mind. He would often repeat himself and ask the same question over and over again, and then sometimes he would just kind of space out. And him telling me that he had a power of attorney set up for his son let me know that my assumptions were correct. So with this information, you can do one of two things. You can go ahead and have him sign the documents, which would be morally wrong and wrong anyway because you know that they're not of sound mind, or you can notify the loan officer and or the signing company that hired you the situation, which I did. And in this situation, the loan officer actually kind of continued to pursue and push the client to sign the documents anyway. And the client was more apprehensive and, just kept saying, "Oh, I'm not supposed to sign documents." And the loan officer kept saying, "It's okay. This is going to be good for you." There are loan companies that I guess you would call them predatory lenders. You have to be mindful of that. So in this situation, I simply listened to what the loan officer said. I let him talk to the client. And when he finished, I asked the client, did he feel comfortable signing, which he said no. And I said, "Well, don't worry about it. You don't have to sign it." So I then called the loan officer back and let him know that the client decided he did not want to sign the documents. And he said, "That's fine. Just go ahead and leave the documents with him, and I will call him back and talk to him." Now that let me know that he was going to push him to sign the documents. So I went ahead and hung up the phone. I then advised the client that if you don't want to sign the documents, you shouldn't do it. And if you don't feel comfortable talking to him, then just don't answer the phone. And I recommend that he call his son immediately and let him know what was going on. I also informed the signing company of what took place just in case the loan officer attempted to have another appointment made with a different notary who would allow the signing to go through. Me personally, I don't like to see anyone be taken advantage of, especially not the elderly. There are two things that you should do in this kind of situation. First, determine if the client is of sound mind and they're not being pressured or coerced. Once you make the decision, you can either continue with the signing or you can stop and notify the loan officer or signing company, whoever it was that hired you to do the signing, that you will not be proceeding, and let them know why. It's important that you only notarize signatures when the client is willing and able. So to get more helpful tips like this, register today with notarytonotary.com. With your registration to the online course, you'll also be able to ask questions via email or social media to help you build your notary business. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more helpful tips from Notary to Notary.